so glad today's over. I mean, hey, I could have went home when they told me to go home, and I haven't really explained that on video yet. I'll get to it. I think if I'd have left then, I probably wouldn't have come back. And I gotta come back because I left my lunch bag on top of the cooler, and damned if I'm walking all the way back from here to there. I'm in the parking lot in front of the shop, by the way. Trying to plug in Obama Phone 5 so it has enough juice in it. It's at 48%, not bad. On that, I may as well see where Obama Phone 3 is. It's a 71%, may as well leave it there. That way Obama Phone 5 can get all of the amperage coming off that charger. Those are both charging off the same charger these days in the car. So God, where do I start? I suppose I should start by seeing what time it is and the day, just so I keep this all straight. It's 10:49 p.m. Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. I would say today is the second most frustrating day I've had here. And it's the second time I've been upset to the point of quitting, thinking about not coming back. And before I go any farther on that, I should talk about what's going on right now with Workwhile and Factor. And this has been going on since last night. I meant to talk about it on my vlog last night, but when I was driving home, mine was wandering to other places. So I ended up not talking about it, and then by the time I got home, that red left arrow was a big time waster. Not going there. I did shoot the little video because I was so glad that I had left my hat on my washing machine, because I was really worried I had lost that and left it outside somewhere. So, but yeah, I never got around to talking about what's going on with Workwhile. So I mentioned the Eastern European guy, I'm assuming he's Eastern European from his accent, that the last 3 shifts that I've worked in fulfillment, I've driven home-ish. I mean, I'm dropping it off in an alley. I'm assuming it's right outside his home, in a rather sketchy townhouse area near 43rd Avenue in Thomas. I worked alongside him. So the first night I worked in production, and I'm not sure if I really mentioned him or not. I'm sure I mentioned him a little bit, but the first half of the shift I was making the food boxes, and at one point I was sent, well, everybody, they'd taken down our whole line. It was on line 5, and they took down the entire line, and they sent everybody that was on that line to the kitchen. And we cleaned up a little area, and there wasn't really much else for us to do there. I mean, in the amount of time given to do it, 2 people could have done it, and they sent like 10 or 11 people there, maybe 12. So yeah, that's HelloFresh management for you. But it was a good thing I was one of those people, because they said to take all the dirty dishes to the dishes area, and I was the only one there who knew where that area was. And of course, when they tried to explain it, the explanation was vague as fuck, because most people give really vague directions as to how to find things. At least I always find them vague. It's very rare I can follow anybody's directions to find something. Like, give me a map. give me a map and a dot. 2 dots. One that shows where I'm at, one that shows where I'm going. Although if it's a really good map, I shouldn't need a dot showing me where I'm at. I should be able to figure that out just by looking at it. If I can't, it's just simply not a good map. Yeah, it's a good thing I was there, so I was able to show the others and carry some dirty dishes myself. Anyway, when we came back from that, he sent us back to the chef. I think that was actually a chef. Like, he had a chef jacket on. It said chef embroidered on his thing. I do believe there are some real chefs at Factor, because that food is really, really good. It's mostly what I've been eating this weekend. I really wish I'd have brought a 3rd meal with me today. I had 2 of them. One was like a shredded chicken taco bowl, some kind of veggies on the side. Always some kind of veggies on the side. And the other one was had before, and I forget what the heck it is. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It was a chicken, big white meat chicken breast, grilled or probably broiled, in some kind of sauce, like on top of some kind of sauce, and then it had some kind of vegetable middle on the other side. It was quite, I think it was like zucchini and corn and some kind of seasoning in it. And as much as I'm not a fan of corn, I love that stuff. So anybody who can prepare corn in a way that I like it, they're doing something above and beyond. So anyway, when we came back, me and two other guys got put in this area where there were these giant pallets. They're like these big bins that fold into a pallet. So they can be moved around with a forklift or moved around with a pallet jack, standard pallet size. But they fold up like a bin, and I don't know, probably about 4 foot tall, filled with factory meals, all the same recipe in each one. And there's labels on them indicating date, batch, and all that stuff. At one point I was told to do something with those labels, and I was doing it, and I noticed nobody else was doing it, and that probably was overkill, even following the directions. But I followed directions. I'm the kind of guy that follows directions as I interpret them. But I didn't try to understand everything in the labels. But it did seem to have like dates and times and batch numbers, I believe. And of course what the name of the meal was. I think a number that corresponds with it. So anyway, putting those in the bins that go into the fulfillment lines, which hold 12 meals each. And anyway, the one guy I worked with, he stayed there and was doing that after I left. At one point, then we took our second break, and then we came back, and then the other guy never came back to that area. Him and I went right back to that task. The great guy, then we gave it right home that night, and then the next following shifts that I worked the following weekend. I wish I could remember his name. I'm so bad with names, because I'm sure he's told me his name. Well, that guy is going really slow down in the right lane. In order to not pass him in the right lane, because you should never pass in the right lane, I've had to slow all the way down to 50 miles per hour. That guy should just, it's really scoot over a lane. If he wants to go that slow, that's one thing, but 50 doesn't really feel like an appropriate speed for this freeway anyway. So as I was saying, we came back, we were working on that till the end of the night. That was Saturday before last. And at one point, one of the leads, I forget her name, but I was working with her quite a bit on Saturday night. She seemed really sweet. She was actually next to me folding boxes for a while. I was putting liners in on line 5. But she's cute, by the way. She came by and asked me if I can go to line 5 until somebody got back from the bathroom. And I'm like, sure, no problem. The whole bathroom thing at HelloFresh is such a joke. People are like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. Sure you do. You just want to go fuck off somewhere for like 10 to 15 minutes. Or maybe not even come back. Anyway, that person never came back. After third break, when somebody says they're going to the bathroom, it's like a flip of a coin if they're coming back. Because she did come back by me maybe 45 minutes later. The lead, not the person who went to the bathroom. And I'm like, they're not coming back from the bathroom, are they? And she just had this sad look on her face like, no. Which is fine. I mean, I'm fine working on a production line. Not a problem in the slightest. But I did like what we were doing, bending up the meals better, and I liked working alongside that guy. He's really chill. But anyway, so I drove him home 3 times. And there was something about it that's really relevant to what's going on with me tonight, and now I can't remember what it is. Yes, it's coming back to me now. So he told me that he got a $10 bonus on both nights. Didn't you? I said, no, I don't think so. He goes, it's right there in the app. Just look at it. We're both in the production floor. And it's a rule on the production floor. You're not to take out your phone at all. Now, granted, that's a rule at MLS too. But then, like, the night manager gets flustered when I don't answer his phone call. I mean, phone's not supposed to be out at all. Hello. But yet you're constantly texting me and calling me to give me direction and stuff. Obviously, it's a don't text and drive thing. I get it. I adhere to that at HelloFresh because I look at it as a food sanitation thing. That's one thing that used to just drive me absolutely nuts about our teenager manager over at Domino's. She was just constantly, while preparing food with her bare hands, pulling her phone out and tapping and using her phone and putting it down and putting it back. And I'm like, pretty sure that's a health code violation there. Pretty sure if a health inspector just happened to come in and was getting the pizza on his off time, he'd be making a mental note of that. So I'm not doing it at HelloFresh. Anyway, he said, yeah, there's a $10 bonus on these shit. Just look in your app to see it. Well, I looked at my app later, and of course that was after I'd already dropped him off at home. I didn't get into a $10 bonus. Didn't get any bonus at all. I got whatever the hourly rate is. That's $10 less an hour than what I was getting those shifts from Winolo by getting those shifts through WorkWhile. And I'm not complaining. I accepted the shift. I accepted to do it for that. It's damn good pay. It's like $165 for 10 hours work. I'm not complaining. But that guy got $10 more than I did. What's up with that? Why didn't I get the $10? Well, I've been really paying attention to my push-through messages from WorkWhile because I'm getting an abundance of them. And the main pattern I'm noticing is that, and I got a feeling WorkWhile's trying really hard not to lose this account with Factor, because they've definitely lost the account with the main HelloFresh AZ1 over at 75th and Buckeye. And I'm sure the problems that they're having that's going to cause them to lose the account as a staffing provider is providing crappy people that just don't have good work ethic, that take 6-7 bathroom breaks and don't come back for a long time, and then not getting the shifts covered. When they're told, well, we need X many people to cover these shifts in this department, I'm sure WorkWhile is selling the service to them as, oh yeah, well, we have thousands of people that are signed up on our platform. Well, I'm signed up on their platform, but the reality is I have a job where I work 8 hours a day, 8.5 hours a day that I'm there, Sunday through Thursday. So I'm not available for shifts Sunday through Thursday. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that are signed up, some of which maybe don't have transportation to Goodyear. Other people that just don't think it's, if they're on WorkWhile and they live in Mesa or Gilbert or Chandler, I'm sure they're looking at that going, no, I ain't driving that far. I mean, it's kind of pushing the issue for me driving that far, but I feel they're paying enough it's worth my while, as long as Saturn holds out. I don't know that I'd want to ride a bus there, though. Anyway, see, I'm looking at this pattern, and it looks like once it's down to about 6 hours, 12 hours-ish before the shift, they're putting a substantial bonus on it. $10 ain't nothing. They're going up to $29.50. And if you look at these screenshots here, you can see this afternoon while I'm having all my frustration at MLS, which I will explain later. I mean, I kind of touched on it when I was talking about what had happened earlier as I was finishing off my shift with Steve. And I'll touch base on more because it involves Steve, it involves Jesse. I feel bad for Jesse. I feel like I really misjudged him before. He's a good guy. He's just... I'm not saying it to be mean. He's kind of low IQ. It just is what it is. It doesn't make him a bad guy. Some of his approaches aren't the most brilliant. God, I want to talk about that later. I'll get to it. It strongly involves Anthony. The way Anthony handled this, I'm not very happy with. It also involves Monique, who I held in pretty high regard, but I did not like what Monique did. And then also Rob, who came in and kind of saved the day, at least for me. I'm going to tell that whole story later. I really am. Meyer's in the mix too, but I think they were trying to keep it a little... I don't know how much Meyer was involved in it, because I didn't really have any direct... other than saying hi to him, I didn't have any really direct contact with him as far as him asking me to do stuff or me asking him about anything. Even though he was there tonight, and I saw him quite a bit. Mostly I'm just waving at him, waving back. But yeah, anyway, back to the bonuses. So, as of last night, Friday and Saturday night shifts are available. The 7 to 5:30 a.m. are available at Factor, the shifts that I like to get. But there's no bonus on them. And when they're kicking bonuses all the way up to just shy of $30, and as you look there, And here's a screenshot from inside the app, because that was a screenshot of my push-through messages that's coming through my iPhone. And here's a screenshot of the app, and you can see where it's estimated what the payment's going to be if I work the whole shift, and that's damn near $200. I'm not normally making $200 a day. I'm not even making $100 a day working for MLS. So to be able to make $200 in a day, now I'm kind of gambling on the chance that by the time Friday rolls around that those shifts will be all filled up. Like, I would have never waited like that with Winolo. When shifts like that popped up on Winolo, sometimes they were gone within minutes. Like, I'd look and see, I got a push-through message on it, and then I clicked the push-through message. The push-through message was like 30 minutes ago, and yeah, no jobs are available. They're gone. The job that you clicked on is no longer available. It'll be the message I get when I do it on Obama 5. For some reason, that message doesn't work on iOS, and I get like this really weird cryptic message. And I click jobs, it says there's no available jobs. So I mean, with Winolo, I'd be a fool to sit and wait for something like that. With Winolo, it's just like throwing meat in front of vultures. So whoever gets there the fastest gets a bite, and those who don't. But it seems to be the other way around with WorkWhile. I'm sure there are people that are going to that job that don't like the job and aren't coming back. That's also a factor on people not taking it. Another factor of people not taking the jobs at factor. I'd really like to get the $200. The one that really got me was this push-through message that came through this afternoon. While I'm getting kind of frustrated with Steve, and I feel like he's not pulling his weight, and I'm working hard. And Davey, the woman I generally refer to as the hot chick in the office that isn't Rob's sister, I think her name is Davey. When I think of Davey, I'm thinking of one of the monkeys. I'm thinking of a guy. I'm thinking of an older guy. So, attractive young black woman and Davey just doesn't connect. It causes an error in my brain. It's like, that can't be right. But I do think that is her name. Generally speaking, I love her to death. Generally, everything's really good with her. But I felt like she was complaining about the job I did last night at the beginning of the shift today. Talking about, well, we're not giving no overtime, blah, blah, blah. You need to be getting all those cars down. Don't be leaving any cars upstairs. Man, I'm moving cars as fast as I can, but sometimes it's quite a task for me to get upstairs, and I can only take one down at a time. And my directives from shop management is to make sure that I have my line sorted out, my gatekeeper clear, and my pop trunks moved out. Like, they want me to handle that area. The directive I got from Mayar, who I think is the highest manager there, at least one of them, is to make sure that I just had them all lined up, that I didn't have them scattered. And I see where he's coming from on that. Like, so they can start to get busy early in the morning and they have to have a bunch of lines for returns for Hertz, that there's not cars all scattered throughout the area. As long as they're all in a line, they're out of the way, and when the morning maintenance guys come in, they can move them down. That seems to be Meyer's concern, that I have them in line, which I did. As long as I have that Hertz stuff all to the side and in a line, I feel like I'm okay to leave that there, considering how much time it takes for me to get those down. That it's more important that I focus on Dollar, because Dollar has so little space to put their maintenance cars. So I tend to focus more on, like, if those are piling up and Dollar's piling up, I tend to focus more on Dollar. But of course, anytime downstairs, I'm trying to keep everything correct on the keeper line. But the way she said that, and I guess okay, if we're changing directions on what the focus is, that's fine. But she said it in such a snide way, like, yeah, I need you to be moving those cars, not just sitting in cars somewhere hiding, wasting time. I'm not ever doing that. Not ever. Well, the only car I'm ever sitting in wasting time is my Saturn, like right now after I'm off work. But not while I'm down there and I'm on the clock. Never. I'm moving from one car to the other. I mean, I got all these short videos of me doing that, you know, and kind of tracking how I do it. If that's what she thinks I'm doing, and that's what MLS management thinks I'm doing, wow, bad enough y'all are underpaying me compared to what Factor pays me. But wow, y'all think I'm not working too? Because see how much stuff gets done if I just quit and go work at Factor and make twice as much money. Does look like there's going to be a lot of eye candy inside at the karaoke night. Not that that affects me a lot. For the most part, I just sit by myself and sing my songs and respond to YouTube messages. But it's nice to look and dream. Because, of course, Priscilla is nowhere to be found for me tonight. Well, it's fine. I mean, whatever. She got to work in the morning. I had court in the morning, so I shouldn't spend too much time here. But I need to sing and unwind. I didn't get to sing this weekend. But yeah, that message came across today, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting here getting low money, getting disrespected, told I'd move those cars down. I don't need you just sitting in cars hiding. I'm never sitting in cars hiding. How dare you even suggest that? And I'm looking at that going, fuck, I could just clock out and leave, go home, get my hoodie, get some warmer clothes on, and head on out to HelloFresh and make almost $200 tonight. Then, of course, I would be getting off at 5:30 in the morning, and I got court at God knows what time in the morning, so I'd probably be like half dead at court. But there's more of the story about what happened tonight. I'm going to get to that, but I got to go ahead and sing something, get this shit off my mind.